Hey there, welcome to Craft Central Designs. Today I'm pleased to share with you a very special dog theme wreath that I created in honor of another YouTube creator with an extremely popular and successful channel called Sitting with Dogs. His videos are profoundly heartwarming and compellingly inspirational, and each and every video provides me with a few chuckles, often a tear or two, perpetual enlightenment, and a profound inspiration in realizing the amazing role Rocky Kanaka plays in the life of shelter dogs. To learn his story and to see what he does, and to learn about Flip's Farm, visit his YouTube channel, Sitting with Dogs. I'll put that in the description box. Welcome to all to my channel today, and I hope you will like, share this video, and subscribe if you are not currently subscribed, and leave me your comments. Okay, let me show you how I created this beautiful dog theme wreath. I have here a 14-inch wire wreath frame from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using 3 different types of deco mesh on this wreath today. I'm going to be creating 28 bundles for this wreath. And for each bundle, I'm going to be using that snowball mesh there, the burlap snowball mesh. And I'm also going to be using the white and that other one that's in my hand there, that's like a burlap and a white mixed together. So the combination of those 3 turns out so beautiful. I have there some pipe cleaners because I like to match my pipe cleaners to my mesh. And I do get my pipe cleaners at Hobby Lobby. I got this 12-inch wood round at Hobby Lobby. And yes, it has a happy face on the back. But I really needed a 12-inch wood round because I have a silk screen stencil that I needed a 12-inch wood round for. So I'm going to be using that acrylic paste, and I have my spatulas there, and I'll show you that silk screen stencil in just a bit. I'm going to be putting a placemat on the back because I'm going to be sending this wreath to California, and I want it to be very finished and perfect. So I'm going to finish the back with a placemat, which I picked up at Walmart. Sometimes you can find them at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to be making a spectacular bow for this piece. I'm going to have that red one for a beautiful pop of color. And I have actually 3 2.5-inch ribbons there and 2 1.5-inch ribbons. So I'm going to be creating a bow with 5 different ribbons. It is going to be so beautiful. I have your 2 Offray ribbons where I'm going to make a little small bow on the piece, and I got those at Walmart. I love the ribbons at Walmart. I have here this fabulous bone that I picked up in the wood department at Hobby Lobby at 40% off. Also, I got the wood round for 40% off. I'm going to be placing some letters on there, and you've seen me use these Rae Dunn letters from Amazon many times. I love the convenience of them, and I'm going to be placing the words on there as well as a paw stamp. So I'm going to use an ink pad for that stamp, and you'll see all that in just a bit. I have here some wood bones. I have 2 different sizes. I'm going to be covering 4 of those wood bones, 2 of the larger, 2 of the smaller, with this paw scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. Now this wreath definitely screams dogs, don't you think? So far, you can tell that, right? Oh, it turns out so beautiful. Okay, so let's do our mesh bundles. Now, I'm working with this, I call it a snowball mesh. It's a beautiful mesh, very soft and pliable. I absolutely love this mesh. You've seen me use it quite a number of times. I'm going to be creating two types of bundles. I'm going to use this particular mesh on all the bundles, but I'm going to change up and use 14 of these bundles in that snowball mesh and that burlap and white mesh there. And then I'm going to create 14 bundles using that snowball mesh with this beautiful white mesh with the stripes on the side. Again, love, love, love this mesh. All of my deco mesh comes from Hobby Lobby. It's a very high quality deco mesh. Every other week, it's 40% off. So I have my clips there from the Dollar Tree. I have all of my pipe cleaners all cut in half. I'm going to do a loose woodland method bundle here. So I just do about 1.5 rolls, then I reach to the other side, roll about 1.5 rolls, scrunch it together in the center, and I put a clip on it. A nice loose roll, factory edges on the left and right. Roll it up, hold it with the other hand, scrunch it in the center. Now I crisscross them, and I just use one of those half pipe cleaners to wrap around it. This is a nice loose roll woodland method. I love the look of it. Sometimes I do a tighter roll bundle. This time I'm doing a nice loose roll. 1.5 times, and then I roll up the other side, meet it in the center, scrunch it, put a clip on it. Now I'm doing a bundle with that pretty burlap, but it has a lot of white in it, mesh, and then, of course, this snowball mesh. And I pair those two together, 14 bundles of each. Crisscross it, scrunch it together, wrap a half a pipe cleaner around it, and this goes very fast when you're creating these bundles. Very, very minimal fraying, and it creates an absolutely gorgeous bed of deco mesh on that wreath form. We're going to take the tails of our pipe cleaners, and we're going to be applying them directly to the wires of that wire wreath frame from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using the second ring from the outside and then the third, alternating those. So the second ring, I start on the crossbar just to anchor it a bit, and then I go, as I'm showing you there, second to third to second to third, second to third, and so on. I place my pipe cleaners, open them up, place them down on the wire, press it very firmly to the wire, turn it over, pull it very tightly, and give that a couple of twists. And there you have the first bundle applied to that wreath frame. Now I'm going to alternate my bundles. The bundles with the white, with the bundles with the mixed white and burlap color mesh. Super pretty, right? Love, love, love this combination. Always mixing your mesh, types of mesh, textures of mesh is always a beautiful idea for a deco mesh wreath. It really creates a lot of visual interest. So I'm going to apply another bundle. I'm always going again from the second wire to the third wire, second to the third, and just alternating that. And that wreath form fills up very quickly with those nice, beautiful, full deco mesh bundles. If you're new to making deco mesh wreaths, this is a very good one to start with, being that creating these bundles is really, really very, very easy to do. So as I go along, I push my bundles up against one another as I go around that wreath frame, filling it up entirely with those beautiful deco mesh bundles. And look at that. Oh my goodness. Now, I take some time and I really pull my deco mesh and I just kind of intertwine it, I guess you could say. But you can see how I'm working my deco mesh, that it really is collected and meshed up against each bundle up against the other, kind of intermingling the bundles, if that makes sense. So pretty. Love, love this mesh combination. Okay, I'm going to start preparing my bones. Now, I want to say, I don't know, I've made quite a few dog wreaths over the past couple years, but I'm pretty sure I got these on Amazon. Any kind of wood cutouts, you could pretty much find anything you need or want on Amazon just by putting a search in the search box and just typing in whatever shape wood cutout you need. It's pretty easy to find it. So I'm going to be covering these 2 large and 2 small wood cutout bones with that scrapbook paper. Now, you may recognize this bow from my bow tutorial. Yes, I had a purpose for that bow. Now I'm going to continue on and create this bow. Now, the way that I'm actually able to accommodate 5 different types of ribbons is because I'm not going to create as many loops as I normally do on my bows for my wreaths. I'm only going to create 2 loops on each side. This will allow me to use more ribbons of different varieties. So you see, I'm just doing 2 loops on each side. I'm leaving 14-inch tails. I want the tails of my bow to cascade down the side of my wreath. So I have a white 2.5-inch nice sturdy ribbon. I want to say I got that on Amazon. They also have a pretty good variety of dog themed ribbons on Amazon. I've had these for a while. Like I said, I've created a few. I created a Christmas dog wreath last Christmas. I've done a few dog theme wreaths over the past year, so I've collected materials, but I'm sure that I got this ribbon on Amazon. I think it came in a multi-pack. So I'm using 3 2.5-inch ribbons for the bottom of my bow, the base of my bow, and also I'm using a 2.5-inch for the top tier. 14-inch tails again, just 2 loops on each side. Again, going to be adding another ribbon to this because I have 5 ribbons in this bow. This time I'm going to be using a 1.5-inch ribbon. So you can see I'm mixing up not only my colors, the widths of my ribbons and my patterns, but I'm also even adding in stripes. So I'm going to be using 2 1.5-inch ribbons. I put in this ribbon because I wanted to pick up the burlap, the color that's going on that wreath, and add that into the bow. Notice how fabulous it looks to mix prints. I can't advocate that enough. If you really want an interesting, beautiful looking bow, mix your colors, mix your prints, mix the widths of your ribbons. And again, I'm using the same width of ribbon or length of ribbon for all the bows, the bow loops, each getting 2 loops on each side, each getting 14-inch tails. The only bow that has a lesser length loop in the bow is the red one, which I initially created in my bow tutorial. And I did use some smaller loops toward the top of the bow, but this isn't a bow tutorial. I'm just showing you how I created it. And whatever tips and techniques you can pick up along the way, that's awesome. But I urge you to sit down and just visualize some of my bow tutorials and practice. And you too can make a bow that looks like this. Just takes a little practice. I snip off my pipe cleaners on the back because I am stacking these ribbons, these bows one upon another. And this is how I'm going to create this fabulous bow. Now I have my two 2.5-inch ribbons on the bottom. Then I stack my two 1.5-inch ribbons next. And then on top, that beautiful red bow is going to sit right on top of there. And here it comes. And this really adds a beautiful element of color on this wreath. And look at all the visual interest of that bow. Now, all those layers, yes, I am going to have to press that very, very firmly right down the center, align all those bows perfectly down the center. I'm going to poke a pipe cleaner in there, pull it around the back very, very tightly, and twist. And now I have a beautiful bow that I can insert into my wreath, which I'm going to place that at 10 o'clock. And I have my nice long pipe cleaner tails there to reach through the deco mesh and just twist those pipe cleaners around that wreath wire and attach that beautiful bow. Just shaping my loops here a little bit, see how everything turned out. Pulling my tails down. And this turned out just beautiful, just the way I envisioned it. My dog is eating. You might be able to hear some crunching going on in the background. That's Savannah, my Labradoodle. I let you see a little peeking of her in my last video. She's having dinner, so I can't really stop that. So there's a lot of crunching going on here. Beautiful. Now I will trim those tails later. And I will do so with by angling the tails. Now I'm going to use some Waverly antiquing wax, and for 4 of my bows, 2 large and 2 small, I'm going to change up these bones for the wreath. I put scrapbook paper on the other ones. These I'm going to use my Waverly antiquing wax and just put a little water down that antiquing wax a little bit because I don't want the bones dark. Just a little bit of a tint of that antiquing wax on those bones. I am going to be just placing those to embellish around the wreath. And I have some other embellishments as well. But after I put an application of this antiquing wax, I just take a dry rag and I wipe off most of the antiquing wax. And again, all 4 bones, that's exactly what I do with all of them. And you'll see later how I place those around the wreath just to dress it up and add to that dog theme of the wreath. And look, they match rather well with that deco mesh, don't they? They turned out really nicely. So I'm going to do all of those, all 4 of those. Now I'm going to do the big bone. And I love this bone. It's a nice thickness, and it really is serves well as a small sign. Now I'm going to be taking some Mod Podge and placing it on those bones and applying my scrapbook paper right to those bones. And these look really cute on the wreath. So it's quite simple, quite elementary, just a light layer of Mod Podge on there. And press that scrapbook paper. You only need to cover one side. And I did all 4 of those, 2 large and 2 small. So I went ahead off camera. I think you've seen me make enough bows. I did 2 figure-8 bows with that narrow ribbon that I picked up at Walmart. I love how the background of one is white and the background of the other is black with the paws. I think that's really, really cute looking. And I'm going to be placing that on the wreath. Now, I took some antiquing wax and I did the same thing to that bone, exactly that I did with these smaller bones. Wiping it off with a dry towel. And I'm going to be using my letters to create my little sign. I have here my ink pad. I always purchase my stamps and my ink pad at Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to take my paw print stamp, press it into my ink, and I'm going to press that down right in the center of that bone. I want a nice, good application of that ink, so I really work it into the pad. Place it right in the center, press it down, and I have a stamp paw print on my sign. And that turned out perfect. I am going to be taking that burlap hanger off. I left it on there because I wasn't really sure up until the very moment until I put it on the wreath whether or not I wanted that hanger or not. But as it turned out, I didn't, and I ended up cutting that off. Now I'm going to take my letters. I, again, love these letters. They're so handy and wonderful to have. I love the font. It's that Ray Dunn style font. And I'm going to be placing those letters on that sign, which is going to go on the wreath. Now, for this piece, it was pretty easy to just get them on straight because of the line across the bottom of that bone. So the wonderful thing about these letters is that once you place them down, if you realize, oh, I have them crooked or they're too high or too low, so easy to just pick them right off and reapply them. Now, I'll show you in a minute a new varnish that I started using that I absolutely love. But I did place a varnish over this piece to make sure. I use a picker tool too. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked there. I use one of those little hook tools. When I'm doing these letters, it helps me to adjust them if I need to. And anyway, I put the varnish over this, and I love it because it made the wood and the stain look very rich in color. I'm going to show you that varnish. I think it's made by Americana Deco Art, and it's just a milky looking solution, and it's a varnish, and it just makes the projects look so pretty. I'm so glad I discovered it. And it also is going to seal those letters onto that sign. Now I have some wood cutout paws. I want to say I got these on Amazon as well. And I'm going to do 2 in black acrylic paint. Just any black acrylic paint will do. And then the other two I'm going to do with Waverly Antiquing Wax. So I'm really changing up everything on my wreath so that I have lots of color and visual interest. And I'm just going to wipe that off with a dry towel, same way as I did all the other pieces. And these paw prints look really, really cute on this wreath. I did get one more paw print. It was in the wood department at Hobby Lobby, and their little finished painted wood pieces. It's in the aisle with all of the wood. Okay, so here's my stencil. And it says, "Life is better with a dog," as you can see. And I thought this was just extremely suitable for this wreath. I believe I picked this up on Amazon. They do have a lot of silkscreen stencils on Amazon. So I'm going to use my acrylic paste and my little spatula. What I love about these stencils is that they stick to, the back sticks to your project, and you don't have your stencil moving around, and you can pretty much get a pretty clean line with these stencils. I've just been getting accustomed to using them, and I really like them. So I just pulled it off, and I had a really beautiful application of that black chalk paste. And then I just showed it to you, that product. It's by Americana. It's that varnish. I purchased that in the paint aisle at Hobby Lobby. Now I have 2 pipe cleaners. I'm going to create something to help me to hang that sign on that wreath, or attach that sign to the wreath. I'm going to place down a dab of hot glue, stick my pipe cleaner in there. Then I'm going to take a piece of felt, press that down into there. And additionally, because this is a wood piece and a little bit, it's not heavy, but heavy enough that I want to use Aleene's tacky glue as well, assuming that this wreath will be on the outside. There's that product, Deco Art, and it's a beautiful varnish. You can see there it's kind of a milky color. I love this product. It creates a sheen, but not a shiny finish. It's just perfect. It's a very satiny looking finish. And this is going to seal my letters on there and just create a beautiful finish for this sign that's going to go on the upper right-hand corner or curve of that deco mesh wreath. I believe I put 2 coats of this varnish on this dog bone sign. You see how it gives it a beautiful finish? I love that. Okay, so now I have to create room for this 12-inch sign. Now I'm going to start manipulating my deco mesh and really pulling back on it to create room to insert that wood sign. So I pull back my mesh and I start working my wood sign down into there. And I don't want it really, really super deep into the wreath, but about that deep. Then I go around and I arrange all of my little deco mesh curls around the edge of that sign so that that deco mesh complements that wood sign in the middle. Now my bow is going to be applied on there at 10 o'clock, and you can see that my sign is up around, I want to say, between 12 and 2 on that wreath. I believe I went ahead and attached my bow just by digging my fingers down into that deco mesh finding a wreath wire, pulling those pipe cleaner tails around the wreath wire and twisting it firmly underneath. So I have my dog paws. That's the one I told you I got in the wood pile section at the Hobby Lobby. I thought that was a cute addition, especially with that white ribbon with the black on it. Thought it really went well with that. So for all my embellishments, I'm going to be using Aleene's Tacky Glue and hot glue. I put a pipe cleaner on the back with a loop to hang the wreath by. I cleaned up all of my pipe cleaner tails, snipped them off. And now to finish off this wreath, I'm going to just take a pipe cleaner or several pipe cleaners, poke it through the placemat, wrap it around the wreath wire, and that's how I'm going to attach it to the back. Now you can do this as well with zip ties or any type of wire. And after I have that applied, I think I put maybe 4 or 5 pipe cleaners around, and then I took some hot glue and furthermore just went around the back and tacked down that placemat with hot glue. This is just because it's going to, for a special piece to, I often do this for, if I do a wreath for a client, I always finish off the back. And the placemat is one of the best ways to do it, or you can cut like a piece of felt. But that's it. The wreath is all put together. I put everything on with Aleene's Tacky Glue and hot glue. You can see how I placed the paws and the bones